Oprah Winfrey is making one thing clear. She wants no part in Diddy's current storm. We've seen them socialize in the past, but with all the explosive allegations, secretive gatherings, and unsettling footage allegedly linked to Diddy's world, Oprah is taking a strategic step back. She's built her empire on empowerment and integrity, and the last thing she needs is to be entangled in a controversy that could tarnish her carefully maintained image. While Diddy faces intense scrutiny, Oprah is making sure her name stays untouchable. And really, can anyone blame her? But here's where things get even more intense. Diddy's inner circle is on high alert because a serious legal powerhouse has just entered the picture. The Southern District of New York, known for handling some of the biggest cases in history, has reportedly assigned a prosecutor with a reputation for taking down the untouchable. Her name? Maureen Comey. If that rings a bell, it's because she played a major role in high-profile investigations that sent shockwaves through elite circles. This isn't just another lawyer reviewing paperwork. This is the kind of prosecutor who doesn't flinch, doesn't back down, and doesn't stop until the truth is exposed. Those close to Diddy are feeling the pressure, and it's no secret why. Comey is known for dismantling the powerful, proving that no amount of wealth or influence can shield someone from accountability. When news broke that she was now allegedly turning her focus toward Diddy, the reaction was immediate. Whispers, panic, and a lot of people suddenly trying to put distance between themselves and the music mogul. If Maureen Comey is on this case, nobody is safe, an insider reportedly said. She doesn't take on cases unless she's got something to work with. For Diddy, this is a whole new level of crisis. He survived scandals, feuds, and industry shakeups before, but this time, the stakes are dangerously high. A source close to him allegedly admitted, he's been through a lot, but this is different. Comey's reputation speaks for itself. If these reports are true, Diddy isn't just dealing with bad press. He's facing a legal force that has taken down some of the most powerful figures in modern history. And it's not just his team that's uneasy. Hollywood is watching, and the silence is deafening. Normally, when Diddy's name is in the headlines, his A-list friends are quick to rally behind him. But now, crickets, Jay-Z, Kanye, and even Oprah, figures who have, in some capacity, stood beside him before, are staying eerily quiet. Is it coincidence? Or is this a calculated move to avoid getting caught in the crossfire? One thing is certain. The tides are shifting, and fast. If history has taught us anything, it's that when people in power start distancing themselves, it's usually not without reason. As for Diddy, the walls seem to be closing in, and all eyes are on what happens next. Let's be real. When a name like Maureen Comey steps into the picture, you know things are about to get serious. One unnamed celebrity put it bluntly, I can't be out here supporting something like that. Maureen Comey doesn't just go after people for no reason. She's got receipts, and she brings the heat. And right now, that heat is blazing straight toward Diddy. Hollywood is a world of power plays, tight-knit friendships, and behind-the-scenes alliances. But when a federal prosecutor like Comey knocks on the door, suddenly, everyone's trying to blend into the background like they were never there. Those A-list connections? Poof, gone. If this investigation takes off the way it's looking, we could see some serious names scrambling to distance themselves. Oprah's inner circle. The pressure is on. Oprah and Diddy? They go way back, like way back. They've been in the same elite circles for years, sharing stages, rubbing elbows at exclusive events, and building their empires side by side. But with Diddy's name now swirling in controversy, people are starting to give Oprah's associations a second look. And let's not forget, Oprah's social circle has raised eyebrows before. She's had public friendships with controversial figures like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, two names nobody wants to be connected to. Now, with Diddy facing intense scrutiny, some are wondering, is Oprah quietly backing away from another scandal-ridden friend? Or worse, did she know more than she let on? As much as Oprah embodies empowerment and integrity, the company she keeps hasn't always reflected that. When the hashtag #MeToo movement gained traction and secrets started spilling, many questioned just how much she knew about Weinstein's dark past. Was she really in the dark about his predatory behavior? And what about Epstein? Now, with Diddy under the microscope, those same uncomfortable questions are resurfacing. One thing's for sure, Oprah is a master of staying polished. She knows when to speak and, more importantly, when to stay silent. But this time, silence might not be enough. With the Southern District of New York coming down hard, and Diddy's name caught in the storm, will Oprah finally cut ties to protect her brand? Fans are watching closely, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Oprah's entire image is built on trust, empowerment, and being a moral compass in the industry. But with so many of her closest connections embroiled in scandal after scandal, people are starting to wonder, does she really know what's happening behind closed doors? And if she does, how long before it all comes crashing down? Meanwhile, Hollywood heavyweights are already distancing themselves. A-list friends like Jay-Z and Kanye, who once stood by Diddy, are eerily quiet. It's like a game of survival now. Everyone watching their own backs, waiting to see who falls next. And just when you think things couldn't get more intense, whispers of more hidden Hollywood secrets are starting to surface. Tom Hanks, a longtime industry veteran, has even spoken out about the dark underbelly of fame. If you thought Oprah had it tough, just wait. This storm is just getting started. Tom Hanks, Hollywood's golden boy, speaks out. Tom Hanks, America's sweetheart, the man who made us laugh, cry, and believe in the magic of movies, has finally decided to spill the tea on Hollywood. And let's just say, it's not all glitz and glamour. Known for his iconic roles in Forrest Gump, Castaway, and Saving Private Ryan, Hanks has always been the guy everyone loves. But behind that friendly smile, he's got some serious thoughts about the industry he's spent decades in. And guess what? He's not sugarcoating a thing. Just like Oprah, Tom is calling out the cracks in Hollywood's carefully curated image. While Oprah's facing questions about her scandal-ridden friendships, Hanks is taking aim at the way the industry has shifted from storytelling to pure profit-chasing. The business side of things has overtaken the creative side, he said bluntly. And he's not wrong. Gone are the days when Hollywood was all about artistry. Now it's about box office numbers and branding over actual filmmaking. According to Tom, studios don't care as much about telling great stories anymore. Instead, they're obsessed with marketing and franchise potential. But that's not the only thing on his mind. Hanks is also weighing in on cancel culture, and he's not a fan of how it's changed Hollywood. We've all been on this ride where you have to watch what you say, he admitted. One wrong word, and suddenly it's blown out of proportion. Even for someone as universally loved as Tom Hanks, the fear-based culture of the industry has reached a breaking point. And young actors? They have it even worse. In the past, you could make a mistake and learn from it. Now, there's no room for that, he added. But don't think Tom is giving up on Hollywood. He's still a firm believer in the power of film. He just wants the industry to go back to what it used to be about. Real storytelling. I've been in this game for a long time, and it's always been about storytelling, he shared. I just hope we get back to that. Despite all the chaos, he remains a pillar of integrity in the industry. He's seen it all, and he's still standing strong, committed to telling stories that matter. If we lose that, we've lost everything, he warned. And honestly, we couldn't agree more. The party that has celebrities worried. Usher and Diddy used to be inseparable. Thick as thieves. Mentor and protege. Usher himself once said, "Diddy taught me everything about making it in this game. He's the reason I'm where I am." They partied together, made music together, and lived the kind of high-flying lifestyle that most people could only dream of. But now, with all the bombshell allegations surrounding Diddy's infamous parties, Usher is probably wishing he had picked a different mentor. Because let's be real, what's coming out about these parties is messy. Secret tapes? Questionable behavior? Major Hollywood figures allegedly involved? The industry is on edge, and the whispers are getting louder. Some stars who once rubbed shoulders with Diddy are now running for cover. Suddenly, nobody wants to be associated with these late-night gatherings. And Usher? He's eerily quiet. Could this be damage control? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Celebrities who used to rub elbows with Diddy are now realizing they might have been a little too close to the flame. Those who were once regulars at his legendary parties are suddenly looking over their shoulders, questioning just how deep they might be caught up in the chaos. One insider put it bluntly, "You think you're just partying with Diddy, having the time of your life, and then suddenly, bam, you find yourself tangled in a federal investigation. That's not exactly the vibe anyone signed up for. And the worst part? Some of them are genuinely terrified that they could get caught in the crossfire." There's a lot of nervous whispering behind the scenes, with one celebrity even admitting, "I've done a lot of questionable things, but if there's a tape out there with me in a compromising situation, yeah, I'm out." The reality check has officially set in, and now people are scrambling. The fear is real, and it's spreading fast. One person who seems to be playing it safe is Usher, whose silence on the issue is raising eyebrows. But make no mistake, his silence isn't just for show. He's laying low, avoiding any potential fallout from his past ties to Diddy. And honestly, can you blame him? Nobody wants to be associated with a scandal that has taken this kind of turn. The rumors swirling around, talks of tapes, questionable behavior, and potentially career-ending revelations are enough to make even the most powerful figures in Hollywood uneasy. Usher might be dodging the spotlight now, but he's far from the only one. Other former partygoers are keeping their heads down too. Once upon a time, being on Diddy's exclusive guest list was the ultimate flex. Now, it's starting to look more like a liability. People are re-evaluating their past connections, and some are even distancing themselves completely. It's a classic case of keeping your circle tight. And right now, some of Diddy's old friends are realizing their circles weren't as secure as they thought. Diddy's worst nightmare? A televised trial. If you think a criminal investigation is Diddy's biggest problem, think again. The real nightmare? The possibility of a televised trial. Hollywood loves a scandal, and if this case makes it to court with cameras rolling, it's game over. Imagine every single detail, every testimony, every courtroom exchange, blasted across TV screens, social media feeds, and news headlines worldwide. If Diddy thought he was used to the spotlight, he's about to experience a whole new level of exposure. High-profile attorney Tony Busby, known for handling major celebrity cases, put it best: a televised trial is a completely different beast. Celebrities think they understand media attention, but when they're in a courtroom, there's nowhere to hide. Every moment will be scrutinized, and in a case like this, where the stakes are sky-high, public perception could make or break him. From the legal teams to the witnesses, everyone involved will have their own agenda, and with cameras rolling, every move will be magnified. But the worst part? This trial, if televised, could completely overshadow Diddy's entire legacy. Decades of building an empire, from music to fashion to billion-dollar business ventures, could all be reduced to a courtroom drama. Busby summed it up perfectly. People think they know the truth until the cameras start rolling. Then everything changes. If this case goes public in that way, people across the world will be glued to their screens, dissecting Diddy's every expression, every word, every reaction. And let's be real, navigating that level of scrutiny will take a lot more than charm, connections, and a killer fashion sense. This is uncharted territory, even for someone as media-savvy as Diddy. Tanya Wallace and the Whistleblowers, the inside story. As more people start speaking out, the whispers about what really happened behind closed doors at Diddy's infamous parties are getting louder and more disturbing. One of the most talked about voices to emerge in this storm is Tanya Wallace, a well-known party planner who has been on the inside of Diddy's world for years. And her revelations? They're sending shockwaves through the industry. Wallace, who attended one of Diddy's high-profile gatherings in 2018, has described scenes so unsettling that they've completely shifted the narrative around the music mogul. She's reportedly sharing first-hand accounts of what went down. And if even half of what she's saying turns out to be true, it's a PR disaster of epic proportions. And she's not the only one speaking up. More former insiders, staff members, and even past guests are starting to break their silence, dropping bombshell accounts about what really went down at those A-list parties. The common theme? What seemed like over-the-top fun at the time might have been something much darker beneath the surface. The pressure is mounting. The stakes are higher than ever. And as the investigation ramps up, the list of people willing to distance themselves from Diddy is growing. The big question now isn't just what will happen next, but who else will speak out, and what kind of stories they'll bring to light. Hollywood loves a comeback story, but in this case, the damage might already be done. The revelations from Tanya Wallace about Diddy's infamous parties are chilling enough to have come straight out of a thriller. According to Wallace, the event that was supposed to be for adults only had minors in attendance. She described a moment where she witnessed a group of adults trying to hide the presence of these underage guests. Wallace didn't hesitate to speak up about what she saw, describing it as deeply unsettling. "What did I see? It didn't sit right with me," she admitted, echoing the gravity of her statements. But this isn't just about one strange occurrence. Wallace was at a massive gathering, a star-studded event packed with celebrities, staff, and guests from all over the world. And it's not just her who's coming forward. Others who attended Diddy's parties have also shared disturbing stories. Some have confessed to witnessing unsettling scenes, but were too intimidated or pressured to speak out at the time. The issue isn't only about the famous faces in the room, but also the people behind the scenes. Those who know the dark secrets that unfold when the lights go down and the cameras are off. Now, here's the kicker. While Wallace's claims are serious, there's no clear-cut evidence that proves the full extent of her allegations. This lack of concrete proof is what makes the whole situation even murkier. People want answers, but it's hard to say if we're hearing the full truth or just a small piece of a much larger puzzle. As the accusations mount, the pressure on Diddy is palpable. The weight of the testimonies from people who've witnessed things that don't add up is catching attention. The question on everyone's mind isn't whether Diddy was the mastermind behind these bizarre gatherings, but rather, how many others were involved? How far did it all go? Wallace has become a crucial figure in these ongoing revelations. Her willingness to come forward, despite the immense pressure, shines a light on just how deep this story really runs. Some might ask, why didn't she leave when she saw these things? But Wallace has explained that she was a guest of a Saudi prince. And when you're in that kind of position, leaving isn't always an option. As more allegations swirl and more celebrities distance themselves from Diddy, it's clear that these bombshell stories are just the tip of the iceberg. The public is demanding answers, and every person who steps forward with their own accounts brings Diddy one step closer to facing even more scrutiny. Will anyone else find the courage to share what they know? Or will the truth remain buried beneath layers of celebrity status and wealth? Only time will tell. Diddy's attempt to silence the truth. While Diddy's parties may have been the stuff of legend, it's clear that not all of those legendary moments should be celebrated. According to multiple sources, there are tapes, yes, tapes, that allegedly capture the wild, sometimes disturbing behavior that went down at Diddy's infamous gatherings. But these aren't just casual party recordings. Insiders claim they could be key evidence in what might become a massive legal battle for the mogul. And here's where it gets even murkier. Diddy's alleged efforts to silence anyone who speaks out are only getting more intense. These tapes, according to reports, show more than just people having a good time. Some sources suggest they contain disturbing footage of celebrities and others engaging in questionable activities. While the details of what's on the tapes remain tightly under wraps, the rumor mill is spinning out of control. What makes this even more concerning is the claim that Diddy had an elaborate surveillance system set up at his various homes. We're talking about multiple cameras capturing every angle of his lavish parties. Imagine being at one of Hollywood's most exclusive events, surrounded by A-list celebrities, sipping your drink and mingling with stars, only to realize that you're being recorded from every angle. Guests who attended these notorious parties began to notice the cameras. They weren't just being watched by typical security. The surveillance was much more extensive, making everyone feel like they were constantly under a watchful eye. This eerie realization only added to the growing unease surrounding Diddy's gatherings. What's the purpose of these recordings? What do they reveal about what really happens behind closed doors at his events? As more people speak out and more rumors spread, the picture of Diddy's infamous parties continues to darken. With the stakes higher than ever and the scrutiny mounting, it's clear that the truth about these parties could change everything for the mogul. And whether he can contain this storm remains to be seen. The chilling reality of Diddy's infamous parties may have been far more than just wild celebrity gatherings. They may have been a full-on surveillance operation. Reports suggest that Diddy himself orchestrated the entire scene, setting up cameras at every corner, turning what should have been a high-profile social event into something far more insidious. The footage allegedly captured everything, and there's growing speculation that Diddy might have used these tapes as a form of leverage, ensuring that no one could expose the darker side of the glitzy world he's carefully curated. The most alarming part? This wasn't a one-off. Diddy's control tactics have allegedly stretched far beyond just surveillance. Sources claim he has used everything from hush money to threats to keep people silent about what they witnessed behind closed doors. Former associates and employees have come forward, revealing they were intimidated into silence, with the looming fear that their own secrets could be thrown into the public eye if they dared to speak out. Diddy's most infamous tool for keeping people in line? Non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. According to insiders, if you were involved in Diddy's world, you were almost certainly asked to sign an NDA, a legally binding agreement that prevented you from revealing anything about what went down at his notorious gatherings. And if you dared to break that silence, well, it could mean serious consequences. But the real drama kicks off when someone defies the rules, when an insider gets brave enough to speak out about what they've witnessed. That's exactly what happened when Tanya Wallace came forward with claims about Diddy's 2018 party, pushing the boundaries of the narrative and revealing what had been kept under wraps for so long. And with the existence of these potentially explosive tapes, the stakes are higher than ever. It's no wonder these tapes are now reportedly under investigation. If authorities manage to gain access to them, we could be looking at an explosion of revelations that could change the celebrity world forever. Diddy has always been known for his meticulous public image, but these tapes could expose far more than a few celebrity missteps. They might unravel a culture of intimidation and control that has allowed Diddy to operate unchecked for years. So, while Diddy may have used these tapes to protect his position at the top of the celebrity food chain, the tables are quickly turning. The more people step forward with stories of what they saw at Diddy's parties, the harder it becomes for him to maintain his grip on the narrative. With the FBI reportedly looking into the situation and these tapes potentially making their way to authorities, the question remains, will these tapes be the key to bringing Diddy down, or will he once again find a way to slip through the cracks? One thing is certain, the truth always has a way of coming out, no matter how desperately someone tries to bury it. And for Diddy, those tapes might just be the one thing he can't control anymore. As more pieces of the puzzle fall into place, it's becoming clear that the truth is finally catching up to those who thought they were untouchable. The more these stories unfold, the harder it will be for Diddy to run from reality. So, the big question is, will the elites finally face the consequences for their actions, or will they continue to dodge justice, as they've done for so long? Only time will tell, but the pressure is mounting, and it seems like Diddy's empire may be on the brink of crumbling.